Okay, so this is the first of a few console breakdowns that I want to do. Basically, it's my opinion about the video game industry overall and where the consoles currently are and what my opinion on them is. Now, I'm not a member of the gaming media, or I'm not like this editorial person. I just simply wanted to um, put my 2 cents into how I see where these consoles are and what I think should be done to really, uh, you know, push them forward and just make the industry overall better. That's just my particular opinion. And starting off with that, I want to like put my thoughts out there on the Wii U. Um, the Wii U, it came out back in 2012, November of 2012, and the year when the Wii U was first announced, I was excited when it was shown at E3, and I was thinking that you know based on its capabilities that they showed at E3 and everything, and all the stuff that they did with the Zelda demo and all that stuff, I really was excited for the system, and I was like hoping that the system would do well, and you know I was I wasn't really sure whether I was going to get it or not, but towards the end I eventually ended up getting it on release. I figured, hey, this is where things should sort of pick up in terms of like graphics and stuff like that, and as well as just overall, I figured that there would no longer be the excuse that they had with the Wii, where okay, well, this system is too underpowered, and they wouldn't make games for it and that kind of thing. And I figured, I'd get the Wii U. I'd see like how it goes. I wasn't expecting a lot, but at the same time, I wanted to, get a chance to play the Nintendo exclusives and that sort of thing. And that was pretty much where my mind was in terms of that. And I thought that it was like moving the technology forward a little bit. I felt like the tablet had some potential, but I really felt like it was really up to Nintendo to really put out some sort of game, or some sort of or maybe a series of games that really took advantage of this tablet controller, gamepad. Not really a tablet controller per se, but it's a gamepad, a Wii U gamepad basically. And I thought that when the system was like near its launch, I really felt like they weren't pushing it strong enough in terms of advertising and that sort of thing. They announced a few games at launch, but nothing really impressive to look forward to during the launch window, which is always a thing that I have with these systems. They at least need to have at least one killer app or something to really keep my interest, and I would imagine many people's interest, because this has always been the case with every game console that's ever been released. There's always been some sort of really must-have game to really push people to really want to buy the system. And I really felt like there wasn't really much in terms of that for the Wii U, but since it was Nintendo, it was like I felt as though hey, maybe down the line they'll come out with something like Zelda or Metroid or something like that would really, really blow me away later on, and I would just like go out and get that. And the thing is that, like, as the system launched and I got the system, I noticed that like the first year or so passed, and it became apparent that there was like a drought of games on the system, and there was like nothing really that I really wanted to, jump out and get. There were a couple of games like Monster Hunter and what's the other one? Lego City Undercover. It was okay games, I guess. Monster Hunter is good, but it's like it's a good game, but they needed more. And it's funny that there weren't more games coming out from Capcom in terms of besides Monster Hunter. Though Monster Hunter is a really good game, I really feel like there just wasn't like an effort like by Nintendo to make sure third parties like put out more games. And you know, and like as things started to go bad for the system, like in terms of its public perception, you know, people were on the game media, they would like always bash the system and like say, oh, the Wii U sucks, this and that. And it was like a thing where they were just like Nintendo was just taking a beating in the public perception, because like, you know, there wasn't any real solid titles that were coming out. There was this game drought, you know, which I guess was explained by Nintendo of Japan, that you know, based on the release window and the fact that they had this tsunami like a couple of years back, that affected their whole that affected their development teams, and that affected a lot of their scheduling in terms of their release window and that kind of thing, which they never really came forward and explained. This was something that they talked about maybe in an article in a magazine or in a or on the web or something like that. But their whole thing was that they had like Iwata come out and explain some things with the system. You know, he spoke, and the fact that even more recently with the really decline in terms of sales numbers that they had, where they didn't like have the quite the amount of sales that they hoped to have had with the system. It was more like Iwata just simply had this explanation of, you know, hey, when they release their next system, they'll have a sort of you know, a more you know, solid plan as to where they're gonna go in terms of like implementing maybe smartphone features and that kind of thing. And they, you know, but to me, it's like, if they're gonna do this, you know, they need to really address some of the issues with the Wii U and really, you know, turn around some of their strategies in terms of how they put out their games. You know, maybe getting some third parties involved in making more games. Maybe getting some independents involved in making more games. It just seems as though they didn't like properly plan this system out, the system's life cycle out better, which to me is just strange that I've never seen this from Nintendo before, where they never had like some really you know, Nintendo certainly comes, the name even alone, it comes with a certain level of quality that you expect from them, and I really felt like the Wii U didn't meet that level of quality, because it's like, okay, well, the system is out now, but it's like it's been out since 2012, November of 2012, and there's no really killer app titles, no nothing to really look forward to besides maybe a Mario game here and a Mario game there, and a Donkey Kong game and a Zelda game, which was released in the GameCube. But at the same time, they have this Zelda game that they're going to put out, that they haven't really announced the launch title of. It's going to come out who knows when. And you know, the games that they showed at the E3 of 2013, out of all of them, I honestly think that you know, the games that I'm looking forward to the most on this system right now are Mario Kart and X. I don't know so much about Bayonetta, but X and you know, we got Super Mario 3D World, which was a good game. It is a pretty good game, but yet, you know, the thing is, like, they're going back to the same well. It's like they're coming back to Mario again. I really feel like Mario right now is like the sole thing that's holding Nintendo up right now, uh, because they really don't want to take risks. It's like it speaks to a problem that I really feel like pervades the game industry overall. It's like they don't want to take risks. They want to say, okay, well, this is a proven commodity. They'll come out. They'll play. They'll have this game out, and that's the game that they're gonna put out. Because they know it has proven sales, but not really put out more games that or a diverse type of games library that they need to put out, which is what I would expect from a company like Nintendo given their past history. So I really feel like the sales numbers overall are a direct result of their own inactions and poor decision making in terms of game releases. I really feel like if they had done a better job in planning out the releases of the system, that or even just like done a better job in terms of like negotiating with third parties to try to get more games or get certain key games on the system, it wouldn't be as bad as it is, because it's like, look at the current release date list right now. It's like they don't have anything that's really stands out, or even if anything is coming out, it's either some sort of shovelware title or some sort of title that's not really the next thing we have to look forward to is probably Mario Kart in May, in April or May, and I don't know what else is after that in terms of the schedule, because I haven't looked at the schedule past, say, April or May. But the thing is, besides Mario Kart and Smash Brothers later this year, I think they even announced that Smash Brothers, they might have some more to talk about it probably at E3 again. But I really feel like Nintendo's issue, what Iwata was talking about, implementing smartphone features or something into their next console, or having it to where it is like having it similar, like a similar operating system for all their consoles and their handhelds and stuff, which is a good thing, I guess, if that's the route they're gonna go. I just feel that if they really would put forth an effort in terms of like trying to understand understand the Western market, because that's a problem that I see with Nintendo at the moment. I really feel like Nintendo is a company that has a Western branch, but doesn't understand the Western market. But at the same time, they could understand the Western market if they expanded that Western branch to really put out some sort of or maybe expanded into like a development branch or something, where they could have like maybe Western developers work on some games and that kind of thing. And I really think that they're missing an opportunity in terms of that. I think that they could do that as well as put out the typical games that they put out, and maybe it's an issue where they're constrained with budget and that kind of thing, and that's probably an issue that is with any company, with any corporation or company, that's always an issue, budget, and that also is a reason that causes a lot of what we see happen, because look at, say, Activision with Call of Duty. The Call of Duty is a big time cash cow for them, so it's like they're gonna put out Call of Duty no matter what game that they put out. If they put out a game in a year, they're gonna make sure that they put out Call of Duty first, because Call of Duty is what's making them money. And it's gonna be the same thing at the moment with Nintendo, because like if no matter what they do, they're gonna put out Mario, they're gonna put out Zelda, because Mario and Zelda is what's making them the money. And it's like, but I feel also at the same time that there are missed opportunities with this system, as well as things that they could do better. If they worked on those things, like put out maybe even go back in Nintendo's library a bit, and then like see the previous IPs and stuff that they had. Maybe they could come and revive some of those older IPs, just like how they did with Kid Icarus. Kid Icarus Uprising was very successful on the 3DS, and that system and that game is a perfect example of what I'm talking about here. It's like they need to really put forth an effort in terms of really going in and delving into what they could potentially do, and have some creative people come together with some sort of ideas, and put forth something that no one's seen before, and really that's what a lot of people, I think, are kind of starving for at this time, because it's like even on other platforms right now, it's like there's not much really to really look forward to in terms of games. It's like we all know the same things are going to come out. We all know there's going to be a Halo at some point on Xbox, and a Gears of War on Xbox. We all know that there's going to be another Infamous and another Uncharted on PlayStation 4. We all know there's going to be a Zelda on Wii U eventually. So it's like, outside of the games we all know are going to come out, there has to be some sort of thing that people are going to expect and want to expect from this platform, and it's just a matter of getting to understand what their audience wants in terms of games. I understand that you have people who are fans of certain IPs, or fans of certain titles or whatever, but the problem with that is that you have fans of certain titles, but you also want to expand past just those fans, and you also want to really make compelling content that people really gravitate towards overall, as just opposed to okay, well, we just make Mario, we just make Zelda. That's all well and good, but I really think that they need to move past just what they're doing right now. And I really think that there's no excuse for just the drought that they've had within this past year, and probably this going on its second year drought to me, in my honest opinion, because there's really only a couple of games came out. They had Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze that recently came out, and they had before that, I think it was the Super Mario 3D World. So it's like you're having the same sort of games, but no variety in types of games that people want to play, and that's a weakness that they need to take care of in terms of that, because they really don't have really good console quality titles that are like that vary, and okay, it's good to have platformers like Mario and Donkey Kong, but you also need to have maybe a couple of RPGs, maybe some this is stuff that Nintendo should know, because this is stuff that they've done in the past. So I don't understand why they're sort of dilly-dallying about it now. I don't know what's going on internally with Nintendo, or what the story is there, but I really think that I don't think that I don't agree with some of the people that talk about, oh, well, oh, Nintendo's gonna die. No, Nintendo's not gonna die. Nintendo has like made a lot of money over the years, and I think they're in good standing. I just feel like they need to just make some better decision making with their console. I really think that overall the Wii U, I think, has really good potential, and it's really a good system. That's the thing about it that most people don't understand. It's a, the system itself is a good system. It has some nice capabilities with it in terms of the second screen. You're able to watch stuff on it and play games off screen, off the television. Turn on, if someone wants to use the television, they could use the television, and whoever is playing the game could play the game on the gamepad. And in addition to that, you could also it has probably the best web browser that any console has ever had, in my opinion. I really think that the web browser is really exceptional. As a matter of fact, like whenever using the web browser, it really rivals to me using like the PC web browser in my opinion, because the only thing about it is it doesn't have full like Flash capability. That's one of the few things it's missing, and things like that. So to where you could play pretty much any video online, but a lot of the videos you come across online, you can play. You could even like play YouTube directly through the browser. You could watch most online videos basically, but it's just a matter of they need to really have a better. They need to improve those qualities for that if they're going to do it. But overall, I think that the Wii U is a solid system. I think that Nintendo needs to really put forth an effort to putting out better titles and putting out a variety of different types of games, and also not just putting out a variety of different types of games, but putting out certain key games that like certain killer apps, certain must-have games that people are really going to gravitate towards. I would have loved to have seen like a Metroid game, like a new Metroid game similar to like Metroid Prime or something on there. That I would have loved to have seen. I would have loved to have seen maybe a Kid Icarus Uprising 2 or something on there. That's something I would have loved to have seen. The X game that's coming out, I really hope this is coming out this year, because the thing is, like, this is a game that Nintendo needs to have badly on their console right now, because there's not enough of these types of games that are on the system at all. It's like there's as a matter of fact, it doesn't even have any RPGs on the system really, and that's really strange to me. If it going on its second year of release, it's odd. I really think overall that that's an exact point. That's an exact example of what I'm talking about there. They needed a wide variety of content, and I really feel like they're not really on the ball with that. And overall, I think that they can do well, and they probably will do well, especially with the games that they have coming out now, this year. With they have Smash Brothers, they have Mario Kart, they have a few other titles that's slipping my mind at the moment. And I just think that overall they just need to do a better job in terms of the releases of games, because I think that's their main problem is the lack of games. And overall, I think that the Wii U is a solid system, and we'll see where it goes from here. Thanks a lot for listening to this whole rant I have. I have a lot of opinions on these things, but I really think that the overall consensus for like all three systems at the moment is that they're not, like, the companies just aren't taking the types of risks in terms of games and overall that I wish that they would. into creative wise. So it's like we're stuck with a lot of games that are like safe bets. So overall, thanks a lot for listening to guys, and subscribe. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you.